culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on The Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Everybody, we are back for another morning report. How are you feeling? We all talked about how heavy, ominous, dark, and eerie yesterday felt. And it's crazy how not even 24 hours after we all talked about the dark, just ugly energy that was so palpable yesterday, what do we get? Elon Musk doing a full-blown Nazi salute on the stage, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And then mainstream media, digital media, all sorts of people trying to gaslight us about exactly what it is that we just saw. Oh my God, was it an ugly day yesterday? I am beyond horrified at what is going on in the world. Y'all stay safe, especially if you are a person of color. It is now acceptable to do Nazi salutes in public. And not only that, but the press will cover up for you. Insane. You know, as soon as I saw that, I went on my Twitter and I said, y'all, I'm out of here. I had been on Twitter. Sorry, I have my mic all the way over here. I have been on Twitter ever since that thing was created. I was one of the early, back like early days before like all of these like new things came around, like early days, y'all. Like that was my platform. I made some of my best like networking connections, all this and that when I used to have a blog. Like I loved Twitter. I always did. And then my love for it declined when Elon took a hold of it. Now that he is out here doing that sort of thing, I'm done. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want to full-blown delete my account just because I want to make sure to keep my handle. I don't want someone else to get it and just to, get into all sorts of foolishness. So I'm just going to keep it, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not logging on to it. I'm not doing anything because that was just horrific, truly horrific. Like I'm not shocked because we all knew that man was a piece of garbage, but I am just wow. And this is what I meant yesterday when I said it feels like we're living in a twilight zone because these things are happening in plain sight and they're not being condemned the way that they should be condemned. People still want to gaslight you about exactly what it is that you're seeing with your own damn eyes, right? And these are people that you're supposed to trust to be, fair, accurate, whatever, and in trust with your life. You know what I mean? The amount of people there that applaud this, right, and defend this is scary. But then when you think about what these people do for work, these are people that might have your life in their hands one day. These are people who could be operating on you one day. These are people who could be deciding whether you go to jail or not, like all sorts of things, whether you pass or not, whether you get accepted to university or not. These are these kinds of people. And that just makes it really, really scary. I'm thankful to not, no offense to you guys in America, but I'm thankful to not be an American and not, have to deal with this like full blown where I'm at. But unfortunately, what y'all have going on over there influences what the rest of the world has going on. And you're starting to see more of this rise up in Europe. Even the president here, who was formerly a left-leaning president. My mic unplugged. I don't know if you guys saw, but this man literally with his stupid ass face sat up there in Africa. What did he say? Well, Africans should be thanking us for colonization. You're not saying thank you now, but you will eventually. And I'll tell you in advance, you're welcome. Like they've all gone this way. And it is just so sad, so dark, so dreary, so depressing. Ugh. I hate to start off on that note, but we knew it. Weren't we calling this yesterday in our live chat? Jaleesa was there, Houston was there, Boss Lady was there, Tadisha was there. Like, we were talking about this. There was something happening yesterday, and there you go. It's all like out there in plain sight. By the way, I have to say, like, Ali, Theo, welcome back, y'all. I was like looking for you in the chat yesterday, like, Ali, Leo, where y'all where y'all at? I'm missing you guys. And so I guess you guys had a lot going on yesterday, which I totally understand, but I'm really, really happy to see y'all back again today. So welcome back. And Vanessa, you as well. I think you popped in a little bit later yesterday. Anyway, y'all, so just a reminder, yesterday I quit Twitter. I am not supporting anything that Elon Musk has a hand in. I do not want this man to make any money off of me. I do not want to contribute to statistics that help get him investments in his website. I don't want to, help get ad dollars in his pocket, nothing. F him, F his stupid platform. Okay. On a more bright note, what I will tell you guys on a brighter note is this morning I went to visit one of my friends. So one of my friends here, she's 40 years old and she just had her first baby. And he is the cutest little, calmest, sweetest little baby. I went with another friend of mine. So my friend, she's French, her husband's Turkish. And then I went with another friend of mine who's Turkish. And we just had the greatest morning, just brunching basically at her place, meeting the baby. We of course brought some sweet little, clothes for the baby and then like some gifts for mom as well. So we had a really, really great time this morning. So it's nice to see kids and everything like that, like babies. They make you feel happy, right? They lift the mood. But again, when people ask me like, do I want to have kids, this and that? I'm sorry, when people are out here doing Nazi salutes and it's supposed to be considered acceptable and people are going to defend it, it makes me scared to have kids, especially as a Black woman, right? Very, very wild stuff. How are you guys feeling? How are y'all holding up? But, again, kids, they just make you happy and they're beautiful and stuff. But it's a scary world, honestly, for me. So that's another thing that really just scares me off of all of that. Julissa says, it's crazy. I cried all evening and I'm absolutely not a crier. I'm so sorry, honestly. I am. And I'm not surprised. It's just such a heavy feeling of despair right now. But, that's what they want you to feel, So just try your best, cry it out as much as you can. And then just remember that, we're all in this together. And there are things that we can do to fight against all of this. And, this goes back and, shout out to Houston Gardner and everything like that. But this goes back to some of my new desires in life. I want to be downtown. I want to go do this. I want to go do that. But then now the more I see how ugly the world is coming and how much, our consumption leads to people being this rich, this wealthy. When you see Kylie, we did a story on her in yesterday's morning report, right? How these fires broke out a couple of days ago and she already took like 8, 9, 10, 11 private jet flights, right? And sometimes she's using this thing as a taxi, going 15 minutes, going 30-minute flights, BS, burning the planet. How does she have the money for this? Because people are buying her stupid products. How does Elon Musk have the money to do all that he does? Because people are using his platforms. People are buying his Tesla. People are spending money on XYZ. I am drastically cutting down my consumption. And this is a big reason why I want to go, not off the grid, but further out. I want to have my own garden. I want to have all these things, go heavily vegetarian because I do not want to line rich people's pockets anymore. I do not want to, have the latest this, that, and the other. I don't care about that. And I do not want to help, create another class of super rich people. I'm done. I'm done with it all. Jaleesa says, my brother-in-law is an immigrant and his parents, they are beyond stressed. They don't want to leave their house. It is horrible. Oh God, I know. And it's scary and it's sad and it's wild. It's just, how is this happening? Truly, how is this happening? Where did we go wrong, you guys? And I'm seeing so many of you guys talking about not, feeling the same way as Jaleesa's brother-in-law and stuff, being afraid to leave home. I'm sorry, you guys. I really, really am. It all feels like a fever dream. How do so many people support this? Like, what was the catalyst? You know what I mean? It's just, sickening. It's sickening. And these are people that you share public transport with. These are people you're passing by in the grocery store, in the post office. These are people you see in your day-to-day, like scary stuff. Hi, Shonda. Again, Venetia, Theo, Boss Lady, Allie, Houston Rose. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. I'm so sorry for what we saw yesterday. Like, that was horrifying, truly. And the image is still in my mind. I think it's going to be burned in my mind for a very, very long time. And now all we can do really is choose wisely with our consumption. Try to limit your consumption. If you have to buy something, buy it local. Do not go on Amazon and purchase, right? If you have to buy an electric car, do not buy a Tesla. Go buy a different, brand, all sorts of things, everything you can to resist, right? And like I said, what I'm going to be doing, one of my big plans is to start growing my own foods. Just get away from all of this nonsense. Boss Lady says, I'm grateful for not being American, but unfortunately I have a lot of family there. Listen, pray for your family, girl. Pray for your family. They need your prayers. They truly, truly do. Thank you, Ken, by the way. And Lord have mercy. Y'all, let's get into our stories. Let's try to get our minds off of this. Let's get into the celebrity gossip, a little bit of escapism from all of the just ugliness that we have going on in the world right now. So the first story I've got on the docket is Justin Bieber and Hailey. I don't know if y'all heard or not, but Justin Bieber, and actually you did hear about him going on a massive unfollow campaign, because we did talk about this in one of last week's morning reports. He unfollowed and blocked a lot of people. He actually blocked Scooter Braun, his so-called person who discovered him. He unfollowed Usher, and he used to be Usher's protege. Usher really helped usher him, pun intended, into the mainstream. And now, as of yesterday, Justin Bieber has officially unfollowed his wife, Hailey Baldwin / Hailey Bieber as well. At this point, I'm like, is there trouble in paradise? Or is Justin just fishing for attention? Something tells me that perhaps he's about to make a comeback into the music scene. There have been, two sets of rumors for a while now, right? There have always been rumors that he is not all that happy with Hailey. He feels like she's a stalker, and he feels trapped in this marriage because of his religious beliefs. He doesn't, see himself divorcing, but he's not in love. That's always been a rumor, right? Are they started by Jelena lovers? I don't know, most likely. So we won't go too deep into them, right? And the other set of rumors is that this man has been burning through his money like nobody else's business. People have said it's very strange that an artist this young would already be selling off his music catalog. And it's indicative of some potential money troubles behind scenes would make him feel like he needs to sell off in order to have some fast cash. And if he is to come back and to make some new music, it would be music that he owns this time around, because the rest of it is sold off. So people are saying, yeah, he needed that fast money, but because apparently he and Hailey spend a lot of money, he's already allegedly burnt through the money. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. What do you think? Which rumors do you think are more likely to be true? So this is a mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me know in the chat if you're watching live, or if you're part of my playback posse, my VOD squad. Let me know in the comment section. Do you think that Justin is getting ready to leave Hailey, or do you think that he's having money problems and he is trying to drum up some attention by unfollowing everybody, including his beloved wife, Hailey? I'm really excited to see what y'all have to say. Boss Lady is appalled that he unfollowed his own wife, and I am too. Allie, I think you're right. It's crazy that he's unfollowing all these people, but not Diddy. Very, very odd, because you would think he would unfollow Diddy before he'd unfollow his own wife, right? Diddy's just thinking it could be an accident. Listen, that would be a very, very, very interesting accident, right? Especially because it's in line with him slowly unfollowing people. I don't know. To me, it seems pretty deliberate, but stranger things have happened. The other things, I'm pretty sure Justin has announced he's planning a music comeback. So there you go. It seems like, it could be pretty much anything. We got to toss a coin and see where it lands. But I personally am in the camp like Theo, where I think all of this is to drum up attention for new music that he is about to release. Y'all know how these celebrities are. They're stunt queens. They're stunt queens, right? They unfollow everybody. They like to delete everything that they've got in their grid, like all sorts of different tactics like that. It's nothing new under the sun with these people. It's always something. Allie, what are you saying? Two things are true at the same time. Are you saying it's both? He's broke and leaving his stalker wife? Boss Lady says we need to remember that his marriage was rushed and during a really dark time for him. And Hailey was pushed by her father, who is known for having some money issues. Exactly. Y'all, and it's still so crazy to me that he wound up married to Hailey after all these years of his back and forth with Selena. And then, didn't he marry Hailey within months of leaving Selena for the last time? I'm still stunned that they've lasted this long. And not only that, but that they have a child together. But I really do hope that they're staying together, and that they're happy, because they just had a child, right? So it would be really, really sad to hear that they lasted this long and had a child, and within just months, weeks of the child being born, they're already splitting up. I really would hate to see that. I truly, truly, truly would. So I hope they're happy. I hope they're doing well. And I hope they're still together. Please, Lord. Houston says, going broke. Why would he sell catalogs so early on? He's probably leaving her too, though. So it looks like Houston's up there with Allie, where two things are right at the same time, right? Where, you know, there might be some brokenness afoot and some feelings that have left. Kristen says, holy smokes, late to the party. Kristen, nice to see you again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ronnie says, just drumming up noise for more attention. Glish is saying it works. Clickbait on me after all. Whoop. And if it's a stunt, it is distasteful. And I completely agree. Last one on this. Allie says, I guess he could come back and sing about the girl that got away again. Ooh. You know what? I'd like to hear him sing One Last Lonely Girl once again. That used to be my bop when he first came on the scene. Y'all, if you are just joining me, welcome to the Morning Report. We go live every single weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about the day's hottest topics. If you're enjoying the stream, please do make sure to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. So some of y'all weren't here yesterday, so shout out to you, Allie, shout out to you, Theo, and anybody else who wasn't here yesterday. But I had mentioned that tomorrow I am getting my hair done. I'm thinking of doing, what did I say, y'all? French curls. I'm thinking of doing French curls. So the lady, she's coming tomorrow at 7 a.m. and that might take like 5-6 hours. So I don't think we'll be done in time for me to prepare for the morning report. So tomorrow I won't be live, but typically we go live every single weekday, y'all. Okay. So the next story we are going to get into, y'all, is about The Weeknd. If I can even continue to call him that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hint, hint. So The Weeknd recently sat down for an interview with Variety magazine to talk about his on-stage persona. Where does the time go, you guys? Because it has apparently been 16 years since he first truly burst onto the scene. What was your first song by The Weeknd? Mine was that thing, you know that thing that he sang? I left my something back. No. Bring your love, baby. I can bring my pain. That was my first song by him that I had ever truly heard. What about you guys? And you know what's so crazy to me is that I'm always hearing about how this man has broken so many records. He gets like 1 billion streams a month. Y'all, I can't really name that many songs by him. I could name that song. Oh, it's called Wicked Games. I've always loved that song. I haven't listened to it in years, y'all. But I like that song. I like Starboy. I like Blinding Lights. I can name maybe 5, 6, potentially 7 songs by him. But to hear that he is so popular and he's got dozens upon dozens of songs that have crossed over 1 billion streams is so crazy to me. Is anybody else like that? Back in the day, good morning, Sloopy. I used to listen to the radio like crazy, getting ready for school, right? But I don't listen to the radio anymore. And so I lost that ability to hear new music with the exception of TikTok. That's how I listen. So for now, for example, there's this song by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars that has gone mega viral. Apparently it's gotten 1 billion hits streams. And it's the most popular 2024. I've never heard the song. I don't even know what it's called, y'all. Then there's that song, these K-pop people are starting to go viral. I don't know any of their music, y'all. I don't know, so it's so crazy to hear how successful these people are. And I've got no clue about it. Anyway, y'all, so I asked you guys a little bit earlier what your first introduction music-wise to The Weeknd was. Ali says The Weeknd. Jaleesa says The Birds Part 2. And some of y'all, it doesn't seem like you've heard of him because I'm not seeing other comments in the chat. Replay, my VOD squad, playback posse, let me know in the comment section, okay, y'all? Tadisha says, my first intro to him was I Can't Feel My Face, another wonderful song, really, really good. So he's saying that after 16 years, he is about to go ahead and retire. Not from music altogether. He's going to retire the name and the persona, The Weeknd. Yes, you guys. So basically, again, he's got an album that's coming out in about 3 days now. It's called Hurry Up Tomorrow. And so when it comes to the promotion for this album, you're seeing a lot of talk and chatter about him closing out a chapter, this being his final chapter and whatnot. And so, of course, the journalist who was handling the interview asked him, well, what do you mean by that? The Weeknd? Where are you going? What do you mean that you are closing out this chapter? To which the Weeknd, well, and I feel bad even saying this, but listen, this is the last time I'm going to call him this, because as of January 24th, when all this drops, we're going to have to stop calling him that. By the way, I'll tell you what he's going to be going by soon, although I'm pretty sure y'all could already imagine what he's going to be going by, right? He says that closing the chapter relates to my existence as the Weeknd. It's a headspace I've got to get into that I just don't have any more desire for. You have a persona, but then you have the competition of it all. It becomes this rat race, more accolades, more success, more shows, more albums, more awards, and more number ones. It never ends until you end it. So part of me was actually thinking, you lost your voice because it's done. You said what you had to say. Don't overstay at the party. You can end it now and live a happy life. Put the bow on it. Hurry up tomorrow. Now we're here. When is the right time to leave, if not at your peak? Once you understand who I am too much, then it's time to pivot. And so the journalist asked him, like, do you think you're going to stop making music altogether? To which he responds, and I quote, I don't think I can stop doing that, but everything needs to feel like a challenge. And for me right now, the Weeknd, whatever that is, it's been mastered. No one's going to do the Weeknd better than me. And I'm not going to do it better than what it is right now. I think I've overcome every challenge as this persona. And that's why I'm really excited about this film, because I love this challenge. But I just want to know what comes after. I want to know what tomorrow looks like. And so there you go. This is his swan song, his final goodbye to his persona. And you know what? I think it's really interesting to hear rich people talk about a rat race, because to me, a rat race is kind of like, well, you know, you don't have enough money to retire, so you got to keep going to work or whatever, right? You know, here in French or in France, in France and in French, we say métro, boulot, dodo. So metro, subway, or transport, boulot, work, dodo, sleep. It's that cycle, right? You get onto public transport to go to work, then you go home and sleep, and you do it all over day after day after day. I don't know that whatever celebrities are participating in, I would really call to be like the rat race, like personally, but I guess it is, because even with all the money that they have, they start amping up their expenses to the point where they're in the same kind of category as we are, but on a different level. You know what I mean? Like, they still can't really retire like that because their expenses are just so damn high. So it's interesting to hear that. I want to know how you guys feel about him saying that, like, he's gone kind of numb to all of the accolades, because it's true. When you're amongst the highest streamed, highest awarded musicians, and you've done 1,000,001 tours and interviews and red carpets, it does get kind of old, right? You do go a little bit numb to it all, right? And so I have a question for you guys. What he said made me think about Taylor Swift, right? Because he's saying, like, I've had enough and I'm good and I want to challenge myself. And this makes me think of Taylor Swift, because one thing about Taylor Swift is she's really obsessed with the charts and the accolades and the awards, to the point where she will re-release the same album, the same song, or just whatever nonsense 1,000,000 different times. How many variations of the Tortured Poets Department and each single of this thing, you know, like she, for example, she just most recently started doing another variant because Bad Bunny came out with his new album. And so now she's releasing this thing from her song Lover from 6 years ago. Like, all of these things just to constantly have number one on the charts and to just like have all of these like accolades and spotlight. You know, I wonder if this might be like, you know, a little bit of a nod to her, or maybe, you know, why she is so obsessed with such a thing. You know what I mean? It's very, very interesting to me because, yeah, I don't know. I find it to be very kind of like sad, the way that she's always constantly trying to block other artists from being able to taste the number one. We saw her do that with Charlie XCX. We're seeing her do that with Bad Bunny. We've seen her do that with other artists as well. I don't know. One thing I will say though is, y'all, I think Billboard and all of these other people, the charts, they need to start cracking down on these variants because it's wasteful and it's not authentic. But I digress. Boss Lady, I can't remember the name, but that song, yeah, the same as you. It's called Wicked Games. Kem says Starboy was their first one. Y'all, what about you? How do you guys feel about that? All of the accolades and stuff like that. Like, does it make sense to you that someone who's already, you know, been so successful would get numb to all of this and start feeling like it's all just like a rat race at the end of the day? Oh, why is this giving Machine Gun Kelly? Isn't it interesting that we still call him Machine Gun Kelly? Personally, for the SEO, selfishly, as a content creator, I gotta say, I don't really like when celebrities change their name. For example, you guys know the Bella twins, right? They were always the Bella twins, right? And so it makes sense. Like when you're writing about them, that is what people are searching for. Then they change to like Garcia or whatever, right? It's like, okay, I get it that this is your new persona that you want, but it's kind of hard from an SEO perspective for people to like think to search for this. So it's kind of complicated when you're, writing about these people and talking about these people. Bye, Chelsea. Have fun with your little Nazi clique. You will not be missed. Take care. Glish says, definitely Wicked Games around 2012 or 13 when I first heard him. Ramster says, I saw him on TV, halftime show Super Bowl a few years ago for the first time and didn't know I knew some of his work, but I never understand why they changed personas. Diddy, Bowie, Prince, even Beyonce. That is true. I do remember when Beyonce had her Sasha Fierce era and whatnot. Ali says, Taylor Swift is talentless. She had to move from country because she would have been outshined. Ooh, child. Oh, Lord. That still is something that's so fascinating to me because she did kind of get me into country. Like Shania Twain was number one for me in country. And then I really I loved Taylor Swift when she first came out. Teardrops on My Guitar, Dear Steven, like these are like the types of bops that I really, really love from her. And I hope she gets back to these roots eventually. Kate says, once you've reached that level of success, your number one goal should be to be a good person. Ooh. Kate, that's tea. That's tea. But how many people have that as a goal? Because these people, are they great people? I don't know. I think they're still just so desperate for like more money, more everything. Like they just never seem satisfied, Julia says, Taylor's the worst. She needs to challenge herself. She sounds the same over and over. Well, that's the thing. It feels like she can continue to get awards by doing the bare minimum. Because like I said, I do like some of her albums, some of her music, but like her music has not been good lately. And yet she's still being nominated for massive awards. It's like she doesn't even have to put in the effort. Like Midnights was not a great album. The Poets Department is even worse. Like it is not a good album at all. And yet it's still nominated for Album of the Year and whatnot. So it's hard for her to challenge herself when she doesn't need to. It seems like, I don't know what the heck she did with these people, but they will always award her for like anything. I still don't understand how she has won Album of the Year so many times over so many incredible albums. It's insane. It really, really is. Houston, it seems like you feel the exact same way, y'all. It's wild. And I feel like it really kind of cheapens the effect and the prestige of these awards. When, again, I like Taylor. I love her. And I already named Hey Steven. I love Teardrops on My Guitar. I love, what is that song? All Too Well, Back to December. I like her music. And you know what? Like Theo, I love Picture to Burn, these sorts of things, right? You're too funny. But, I feel like she has not been putting out good content and she doesn't need to because, there's some kind of rigging in the system where they will always root for her. And it's disappointing, I think, not only for herself, but for her contemporaries as well. Because if she were being challenged, she could go back out there and produce some incredible music. But, unfortunately, they are stifling her. Now, let's get into Gizelle and Robyn from the Real Housewives of Potomac. Y'all, take a look at this. These two ladies, one who cannot keep a man to save her life, the other whose man hates her and cheats on her, they are looking to become your matchmakers. Let's talk about the blind leading the blind, shall we? I saw this on their page and I'm sorry, but I just had to laugh. Wow. It's kind of reminding me of Millionaire Matchmaker, right? You've got Patty Stanger, who, similar to Gizelle, cannot keep a relationship for long. And, here's the thing. If you don't want to be in a relationship, whatever, no problem. You don't have to be. I'm telling y'all, like, being in a relationship, especially as a woman, is a lot of work. No offense, Theo, and any other man who might be watching, but y'all men are a lot of work. So if a woman just doesn't want to do it, I get it. Right? But when these kinds of women who do not have luck and love on their own are looking to help you, I'm sorry, but it just seems so funny. This is not something these are not people that I would enlist the help of, right? And Creme Brulee, when you said Dumb and Dumber, I read that in Katie's voice. She gagged and she was 100% right. Okay, you guys. So this is their announcement, y'all. Reasonably Shady matchmaking experience. Are you ready to find your perfect? or maybe just a reasonably shady match? Gizelle and Robyn are officially launching reasonably shady matchmaking services. We're calling all listeners, male, female, gay, straight, bi, whatever you are, love is in the shady air. Here's what we need: your demographics, age, location, etc., your preferences, a recent picture of you. We're not catfishing here. Your social media handle, so we could do a little digging. Just kidding, or are we? So if you are on the market, you are looking to find yourself a lover, and you're looking for two women who have no love in their lives to help you with the task. One woman who was married to a philandering holy whore pastor who had multiple babies on her, including with allegedly with an underage member of the congregation. Go ahead. If you're looking to a woman who got cheated on several times by her on and off again husband, go ahead, y'all. Sign up. Come one, come all. Reach out to Reasonably Shady. They will hook you up. And not only that, but the one who had the pastor cheating on her left, right, and center, she has a reputation of trying to break up marriages and destroy families. So maybe she'll build you up, for now. And then if you get a little bit too happy, she's going to come start some rumors about your man potentially and ruin it all. I can't. These are the last two people that radiate love, or that people should trust with love based off of their track records. It is just wow, y'all. Wow. Theo says, as a man, I'm a vet. No, don't be. I'm sure you're a walk in the park, but a lot of them are just not. And it's not that they're unpleasant. It's that they require a lot, or just relationships in general require a lot of work. Ali says, it sounds like they're just trying to sell our data. Trauma Queen says, Juan has never looked at Robyn with love in his eyes. Nope, not a single day in his life that I'm aware of. And you know what's funny? When he went away to play basketball overseas, he talked about the love of his life being another woman. So in or on RHOP, Robyn talks about how they had never broken up, or they were always together, always in love, blah, blah. But he was doing interviews when he was away overseas that he had a real love of his life, and it was not Robyn. So, wow. I hope they're ready to have a bunch of Bravo gays show up at their doorstep. Listen, I hope the Bravo gays find love. Maybe they're nicer to gay people or to men, because when it comes to women, they are just not nice at all, y'all. So listen, if you're in the mood to F around and find out when it comes to trusting Gizelle and Robyn with your love lives, you all know where to go. And it looks like none of y'all are all that interested. I'm seeing a lot of roommate jokes. I am seeing a lot of philandering pastor jokes and whatnot. I don't see it for y'all, but be careful. But listen, who knows? Maybe it's one of those things where it's like, do as I say, not as I do. Maybe you'll have better luck than the actual person, right? Who knows? But it looks like Ali says that she is just going to go ahead and stick to Tinder. And you know what's bad? Is someone would rather stick to the apps than to real life, because those apps are hell on earth. Star, I'm so sorry you didn't get the notification. I don't know what is going on, because I do get quite a few messages like that. I'm so sorry to hear that, but listen, I'm glad you came back. And that's why it's so good to like that. That's why I like to stick to a schedule, because even if you don't get a notification, just remember 10 a.m. EST, with the exception of tomorrow, because I'm getting my hair done. I am live every single weekday. So I'm so happy that you are back. Now, speaking of the Real Housewives of Potomac, y'all, I have a last minute story to tell y'all, because I did finally watch last night's episode, which, by the way, garbage episode. Although I will say that Karen's husband, Ray Huger, really went and got that tea for us. He was boots on the ground, and I so appreciated it. But he low-key spilled some tea on his own wife in the process. Do you all remember something that he said on Sunday night's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac that was just kind of jaw-dropping? Let me take a sip of my water. In my water, there's leftover matcha mix. I bought matcha from the health store. I will show you guys after the break. And I've been making my own matcha at home, and I'm really, really enjoying it, you guys. So I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about that. I want you guys to let me know what it is that Karen said when he kind of low-key spilled Karen's tea and his interaction with Gordon as well. So make sure to leave them in the live chat, or if you were watching the playback posse, let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in about 30 seconds.
The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Are you looking for the perfect skincare products for women over 30? Look no further than Ruthia. Ruthia is a skincare brand born from love and made for parents. Their flagship product, the Resilience Cream, delivers clinically proven age prevention benefits such as average 14% wrinkle reduction after 4 weeks of use. Click the link below and receive 30% off your first purchase today.
So here it is, you guys. This is the brand of matcha that I'm currently using. And I agree with you, Chidisha, by the way. It is so good. Like, I feel so focused and whatnot, and it feels just like really, really good. It's a bio, which is what? Organic, real from the source matcha. So I've been, enjoying making that. I don't have the whisk, so I just use like my wooden thing, and then I just do it all like so gently and nice. Anyway, none of y'all spilled the tea about what it is that Ray said to clock Karen. Y'all, let me go back and see, okay? Let me start with Tadisha. I hope Bravo paid for Ray and Gordon's lunch. That scene was awesome. I want more husband scenes, just like they do on Married to Medicine. I agree, with the exception of Gordon talking about the heat making his big toe swell. Now, who asked for that? Info about your gout. Ali says he was getting his lick back for how she embarrassed him with that wig on the police cam. There you go. Maybe that was it. And I do think as well that Karen sent him off to go ahead and spy. And so do I. I was thinking of making some matcha banana bread as well. So basically, for those of you who did not watch Sunday night's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Ray, basically, he met up with Gordon, and then Gordon spilled all sorts of tea. He said, Mia, she keeps having these girls think that there's some sort of paternity drama that we don't know. Listen, I got my paternity test on that child months ago. We know that I'm the father. And, the real reason why I went to get the kids was because she was about to leave them alone with Gordon, with Ink. I don't know Ink well enough to leave my kids with him, blah, blah. So, it sounds like he was perfectly reasonable, right? And then out of the blue, Ray, who was sent there to get tea for his wife, he decides to throw his wife under the bus. The Potomac ladies have been claiming for several years now that Karen has a side piece. Apparently, she is creeping around behind Ray's back with a blue-eyed hot man who may or may not be her driver, or who may or may not have been her driver at a certain point. Well, what does Ray tell Gordon? He tells Gordon out of the blue, right? Because they're talking about kids and how Gordon is happy to be a father. Ray's like, when Karen was married, she told me, when she was pregnant with Raven, she told me, hey, as a heads up, that there are some people in her eyes with blue or gray eyes. Some people in her family with blue or gray eyes. And I was like, no, there aren't. So basically, she was looking for an alibi for in case it turned out that her kid was not actually fathered by Ray, but by her concubine. Wow, y'all. Wow. Okay. Theo, Petty LaBelle. Y'all weren't paying attention either. The tea was spilt, y'all. That was a really, really good scene. So basically, yeah, y'all. Yeah. Apparently, Blue Eyes has been in Karen's life for several decades, which to me is shocking. Here, I thought, because there's a massive age gap, allegedly, right, between Karen and Ray. So I thought this was one of those agreements similar to Gordon and Mia, which is older man becomes a little impotent, and then he allows for his wife to, get her back broken on the side. But no, this has been around for a long time. Raven's in her 20s, so apparently this has been a long-term lover. And it seems like Ray's cool with it. Can I ask her a question? Do you think Ray's a cuck? Do you think he gets off on this? I don't know why, but I get the feeling, because we know already that Mia is a little bit of one. She likes to watch her men with Jacqueline. Do you think that Ray's into this? Because listen, he seems he's got a lot of lively spirit to him. He seems open-minded, I can see him being a little bit freaky. So I could see why like this does not bother him. Like I get the vibe that maybe it's an open relationship or maybe she's a cook. I'm sorry, Theo, but that's the vibe I get. I get that vibe. I don't know if anybody else is feeling this way, but let me know, y'all, because it's a serious question. Do y'all think that? I don't know. Kamblule says, Karen said in season 1 and 2 that Ray allows her to look at eye candy, right? Like, does he want to hear about the eye candy after? Because that could be kind of freaky. I think he's a freak. I think he's a freak. There you go. I said it. Ray, I think you're a freak. And you know what, Tanisha? I think there's some sort of an arrangement between the two of them, right? And it seems like, yeah, as long as it doesn't get public or this or that. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, y'all. I think that eventually, like, more and more about this relationship is going to come out because, listen, not every relationship looks the same. Some relationships are a little bit more spicy than others. And I think that this just so happens to be one of them. But, you know, I also could be reaching and delusional. It wouldn't be the first time. Guys, if you are enjoying this morning report, please make sure to go ahead and give it a thumbs up so that YouTube knows that you enjoy my content and you want to continue to see it served to you. I saw Star mention a little bit earlier that she didn't get a notification. So I'll tell you guys again. I won't be streaming tomorrow because I'm getting my hair done. However, I will be back on Thursday, and I've already got Thursday and Fridays reports teed up. So hit that bell and hopefully the notification will come on. But if it doesn't, just remember I'm here 10 a.m. EST, and I am looking forward to catching y'all on the next stream. Okay. I do have a final story to go over with you guys. So shout out to my teen mom fans, because this is like a teaser of a story, because it's a full story that I am going to be working on once I finish this morning report, because I got to get the audio and all that stuff together. Right. Kail Lowry from Teen Mom 2, right? So y'all know she has that revolving door of friends, men, baby daddies, and whatnot. And she was pretty close, well, or at least she was portraying herself as being close with her inaugural baby daddy's wife, V Rivera. They ran the Baby Mama's No Drama podcast together for several years. It was her most successful podcast. Like, they talked a lot about co-parenting challenges, victories, everything. It really was a good podcast. I personally enjoyed it. And I recap all of her podcasts for my listeners whenever she spells interesting tea. That one was like the best, the juiciest podcast that she had, right? And then all of a sudden, she just, you know, comes, she and V start fighting with each other. They start, you know, doing separate podcast episodes and everything like that. Like, it really was kind of like a somber vibe. And like, we all caught on, the listeners, that there was something happening behind the scenes. So they took a little bit of time off. Then they came back, filmed episodes separately to announce that they were no longer continuing with the podcast. V kept it cute. She kept it classy. And she just said, you know, they have differing visions. And then Kail really railed on her. And she, like, in various podcasts, said that V was like a user. She called her a deadbeat stepmom. Like, she dragged that woman. And she said that they were never even friends. Like, she was just tolerating her. Like, it was ugly, you guys. Truly, truly ugly. Okay. And then after all this happens, what does she do? She launches a podcast with her on and off again friend, Becky, who had just gotten back in her life weeks prior, to fill the place of the podcast that she had previously had with V Rivera. So she just renamed it on our streams. So if you were like listening and subscribed to Baby Mama's No Drama, like, you would all of a sudden get episodes of like this new Karma and Chaos that she has with Becky. Are y'all following me so far, by the way? Let me know if you're following me. So it was this whole thing. People were upset about it because they didn't necessarily want to follow this. They did not support the way that Kail left V and that Kail trashed V, right? So even though she tried to like forcefully take the followers from the platform that she built with V, and which was all V's idea, mind you, that was another thing that a lot of people were disgusted over. V came up with the concept of Baby Mama's No Drama. And then after the fact, Kail's like, well, you know what? Like, it's not really all her. Like, she didn't come up with it. Like, she needed me. Like, basically just hyping her own self up, right? And people didn't appreciate that. So they unsubscribed when the feed was switched and renamed to this new one that she does with Becky. And Kail is feeling the burn, y'all. She's feeling the burn. And again, I am going to be doing a full video on this. It's going to come out a little bit later today. But basically, Kail, in today's episode of Karma and Chaos, is literally begging, je t'en supplie, I'm on my hands and knees. Please listen to my podcast, please. Why aren't y'all listening to my podcast? Yeah, she's feeling the burn. But here's the thing. I think that if she had kept it respectful with V, and if she didn't trash V, I think that people would have given this a chance. But the way that she went about it, to just slash her over and over again, it turns a lot of people off. And I think that is why she's in the position that she's in. But listen, y'all, I got to go to the hair store. I was supposed to go yesterday, but then I found myself just like randomly scrolling nonsense for hours, and then the place closed. So I got to go and do that. And then when I come back, I will be filming about it. Keep an eye out, because we're going to go over it, y'all. Like, that new pod is not doing well, and I'm not surprised, y'all. I'm not surprised. Tadisha says, I'm sorry, Kail is a horrible person. I wish the people around her stood up for themselves a lot more. Don't let anyone walk all over you. I am 1,000% with you about like just not letting people walk all over you. You've got to stand up for yourselves. You know, just because someone has money shouldn't mean that they are able to treat you, you know, in a way that is just, you know, not fair. Venetia says, Kail has so much drama. Yup, one thing about her is she is drama. Drama follows her everywhere. Now, I like V so much more than Kail. Listen, I think she's someone, I don't want to say I think she's fake, but I think she is off too, to be honest with you. Side is finally faced with a mess, and she made, and no one taught her how to clean it up. Exactly. I agree. I think that there's something off, y'all. I think that there's something off. So guys, stay tuned. And you know what? I did go back and look. Neverland, he must have refollowed her, because as of when I was filming this video, when I started, I looked for myself and he was not following her. And you can see that all over the web as well. Other people saw it. It's been screenshotted. So it's not fake news. It is possible for someone to go back and follow after unfollowing. FYI. I wonder why Kail is unable to maintain a friendship. Honestly, so do I. And the podcast truly is boring. I think it's because it's kind of aimless, y'all. I think it's because like, and I talked about this in my initial recap of some of their episodes. Becky, she really wants people to go into like their sadness, their trauma, their this, their that. And it's a far cry from what the podcast feed used to be, right? When you were talking about co-parenting. And then on top of that, I don't think it's fair that Becky looks for this in people, because she does not have the training to handle trauma, right? If you're not a counselor, if you're not a this, if you're not a that, what gives you the right to tell people to dig into these things and relive these things and to keep digging for them? It just feels exploitative and weird and kind of icky. And, I talked about this when they had Lindsay Chrisley that they were interviewing on the podcast and whatnot, right? So stay tuned, you guys. I will be going ahead and recapping that a little bit later. I just got to go to the store. I gotta buy my hair, y'all. And I will catch y'all later. See you Thursday, Caroline, and everybody else. And you know what? It was palpable, wasn't it? Not paid. It really, truly was, y'all. Ooh, Lord. Anyway, as usual, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm looking forward to catching you Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take good care of yourselves. Have a great day. And I'll see you in the next morning report. Bye now.